Hello and welcome to PMC English. This is Ayushi Pharasi. Today we are at the Terrassen Café, Hyderabad's 100% vegan cafe. Fast food culture in India is slowly vanishing, with people choosing to eat healthy food. Following this thought process and the idea of serving delicious, unique, slow-cooked and most importantly, vegan food to the Hyderabadis, Dhanesh Sharma started this Terrassen Cafe at Hyderabad, India. Interestingly, Dhanesh Sharma was an engineering student, but he started this cafe as he is a passionate foodie. And Terrassen Cafe is one of its kind, being the first fully vegan cafe in the city of Hyderabad, India. Apart from the traditional dishes on the menu, patrons in the cafe can taste some delicious food invented by Dhanesh. Besides the delicious food and beverages, Terrassen Cafe also provides great ambience for the people who just want to relax, work or just read a book. The cozy chic double-story cafe is dotted with plants and books to ease those frayed nerves over some healthy, delicious plant-based vegan fare, and a cup of coffee freshly roasted in front of your eyes. And what drives me more towards this cafe is that you can bring along your companion animals, as this cafe is pet friendly. Now you can visit this cozy, plant-based, pet-friendly cafe with a new touch-up at Film Nagar, Hyderabad, Telangana. Do visit this place. Hi Dhanesh.
Hello, hi.
So firstly, starting with, I being a vegetarian, I'm coming to a vegan cafe for the very first time.
Okay, so I'll start with not having vegan food before. It's a myth. If you have ever had idli, dosa, aloo gobi, mushroom, everything is vegan, right? Even me, a lot of people who eat meat says we have never had, vegan food before. How is that possible? All breakfast is. Even if you eat kachori, that's vegan. So vegan is not something out of, the norm, okay? What is different is that what we do here. So now let's say the pizza is there, right? So that has cheese in it. So that's where having a vegan pizza is different. So we make cheese with cashew and all that. We have our own recipes. You can make it with any nuts possible. So yes and no, you have already had vegan food before all your life. What you will be having for the first time is a vegan pizza or a vegan biryani. Yeah.
So before I start, I just want you to give a little, just about all of this food. That why did you actually include all of them in your menu?
A lot of what we do at the cafe is two things. First, we veganize non-vegan dishes, like I again mentioned, and also bring in intrinsically vegan cuisine, like litti chokha is very popular in Bihar, right? It's vegan. We just make it here. Kushari is one of our very popular dishes over here. It's an Egyptian dish. It's actually the biryani of Egypt. Egypt is a meat-eating country, but that's intrinsically vegan. It's not that. We have veganized it. That's how it's sold everywhere. In fact, the variation people do nowadays is they add a little meat to it. So we have intrinsically vegan dishes, and we have a few things like people who have been vegan for years and all, they want to have pizza and all. Biryani, we have created those dishes. By the way, our menu is bigger. It's only a few dishes we could have served you. Chole kulche, again, I studied in Delhi. chole kulche is a street food over there, very cheap and all that. So again, vegan, unless you ask them to add butter. That's how it's made, kulche and chole. Again, that's one of the example what we do. Second layer is very specific to this restaurant. We try to avoid maida. We don't use white sugar, by the way, and all these ingredients, and make it as healthy as possible. So our pizza is not only vegan, this is made with sprouted wheat flour. So vegan pizza can be made with maida. Any pizza, in fact, all the pizzas, vegan or non-vegan, are made with maida. We make our dough. We use sprouted wheat flour, so it's more nutritious. Even your kulcha is made with sprouted wheat flour. We don't use maida over there. So that's our thing of adding the nutrition value to what we do over here. It also starts with the philosophy of that eating out shouldn't be indulgent or guiltful, right? Because you're paying money for it, and why should you pay money to spoil your health, right? Vegan partly is healthy anyway, because meat, red meat, dairy, eggs are anyway high cholesterol and all of. A lot of people who are into fitness and all go into a vegan diet for a week or two. So obviously it proves it's healthier. So that's one angle. It's anyway healthy, but we use healthier ingredients. You can make vegan junk food also. As I mentioned, kachori or samosa, they are junk food, right? They're not very healthy. So things like that. So that's how our menu evolves. We take a decision. Are we making very interesting, tasty food or like authentic, or are we trying to healthify it also? There are many decisions. That's how our menu keeps evolving. That's how our restaurant works. We don't have a fixed menu, in a sense that we keep on adding things, subtracting things on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis. It's a very few things always. Our pizzas have always been popular. Our biryani has always been popular. So they stay. Our coffee is very popular. 6 years we have not changed.
Okay. So actually it's a blend of, delicious, healthy and a vegan food.
There's a common misconception that healthy cannot be tasty, delicious, healthy or tasty. I strongly reject it, and I'll be very blunt. People who say that don't know food or don't know how to cook food. You can make extremely tasty, healthy food, and so that you'll stop eating unhealthy food.
Yeah.
Taste and health are not, mutually exclusive sets. It's how you make it. That's what it is. So a lot of people like, no, we don't want to eat healthy, we want to eat tasty. They're not two different things. It's how you cook it, how committed are you to the thing.
What was your thought process when you started this cafe? A little just about your back history, a flashback to it.
It's very simple. Again, at that time I was not vegan. I've been vegan for 8 years. Okay, I used to eat a lot of meat. Again, not only what is a common misconception or partly true also. Vegetarian food is looked down upon, right? It's considered boring food. But as a meat eater also, after a point, it's all the same, right? You get the karai chicken, karai meat, this here and there and all that. If you come to Hyderabad, you get your biryani and halim. Pretty much you're done. Mostly, although there will be an exception, but if you're Delhi, you go Delhi, there's a butter chicken and all that. Mughlai food, which is more. So it's not that, specifically adding meat makes something very delicious. Also, the fact that people believe vegetarian food, I'm not even talking about vegan right now, is boring is because how the restaurateurs make it. It's always an afterthought. It's not thought upon cuisine, right? Veggies are blended into a lot of masalas, cooked to death, served with roti. But if you see each and every vegetables can be used intelligently, you can use it. Not every vegetable has to cook in high oil and masalas. You can just let it be. Mediterranean cuisine has a lot of these vegetables, mostly blanched or baked. So my idea of even when I used to eat meat was that food is not being treated well. It's very run-of-the-mill, uninventive, boring food. Then I turned vegetarian. Then the situation was even dire. Then I turned vegan, so there was no option. 8 years ago, there was absolutely zero options. And I've always been a foodie. And even I used to eat a lot of meat. I always respected vegetables. And I know you can create good meal out of it. So that's why I went ahead. I thought, we should do something. And that's how the thought came. I was teaching in a school. I opened a small stall. And things, I started baking breads, and then our sandwiches got popular, and one table restaurant, 2 table, 3, 4, then we moved here. Now we're moving to another bigger place. So it's all been gradual. There's no thought per se, just an outlook or perspective, if you really ask about it.
You have gone all vegan from being a hardcore non-vegetarian.
Right.
So was the change process a little difficult for you, and what was the trigger point in your life that you have transformed yourself completely from being a non-vegetarian to a vegan?
Okay, so I've been not only a hardcore meat eater, a compulsive meat eater, and the transition happened overnight, and I've never craved anything after that because something snapped over there. And once you see, then there's no question of going back or craving that. Like, a lot of people ask that. My thing is, I don't crave plastic, I don't crave paper. For me, it ceased to become food. Hence, I stopped eating. I was growing up, we had a lot of animals. I come from a small town, we had a big backyard. We had all kinds of animals, like cow, goats, fishes, ducks, geese. And I used to take care of them, but I used to ask my father, why do we eat some animals and take care of some of them? But I don't know, I didn't get a satisfactory answer. That was a lingering question always. And then I got conditioned into eating. It's only long back after my graduation, my first job in Kolkata, I started keeping pets again. By pets, I mean fishes in the aquarium. And I used to take a lot of care about my fishes in the aquarium. And after office, I would come, clean it up, feed my fishes, and when I used to open my tiffin, it used to be fish curry and rice. And at that point, it hit me again. That question came back, and I could see the violence, and it takes a lot for a fish in an aquarium to grow by a millimeter if you're really taking care of it. And in Kolkata, I would see heaps of fishes lying on the street, discarded. I could see how the universe is maintaining such a fine balance, and we are just being very violent and destructive. So that first thought came, and said, okay, I won't eat fish. But I used to remember that, a lot of people say, we don't eat beef, we don't eat pork, I used to say all animals are equal. So why distinguish? Eat everything. So when I said I won't eat fish, the second thought was all animals are equal, why distinguish? So that's where I became vegetarian. And 3-4 months later, I got to know about vegan. I didn't know about it, and that's where the whole transition happened. I also got to know what goes behind poultry and all. As a meat eater, the biggest thing was quitting meat, and if I could do it like that, I thought dairy is never going to be a problem.
That was a very drastic change in it.
Yeah.
Whenever we hear animal lovers, though they call themselves as animal lovers, but they consume meat, and when we ask them that why do you do that, they often say that taking a plant life and an animal life, either way you're taking a life. So what is your opinion on this thought of theirs?
See, sometimes not answering a question is also a reasonable way to go about, because it's also the intent about it, right? And so I think some questions are bona fide stupid questions. Why bother? I really don't know a person who really intent would ask that question. Everybody knows the difference between a plant life and animal life, and do you kill mosquitoes or do you breed bacteria? As a vegan for 8 years, I really don't think answering those questions really drops a penny somewhere. And so that's I have no stance on it, right? I said, okay, so at least stop by eating animals and we can see plants later if really that's your argument. But the logical side is that if you eat animal, you feed animal a lot of plants. So when you're eating an animal, you're also eating plants. So maybe minimize the violence.
Yeah.
And I don't claim that I'm the most non-violent person on earth and violence doesn't happen. This is a question about minimizing the violence, right? So you don't say that, I eat meat, so why not kill human beings also? That doesn't help. It's not an honest question, so I really don't go into the math of it, right? So eating one goat means eating 10 plants. Nobody sees violence or non-violence, compassion in a mathematical right? Formula. There's no formula for that. So
There's a huge difference between a plant life and an animal life. They need to know that. So that is why I just
I
wanted
think people know that. It's just something. Everybody knows that. I think the people who are even asking the question know what they're asking. So
They just want to have an argument about
it's something. Yeah, let's have a dinner table conversation, have some fun. For me, it's not casual, so I don't actually engage with that kind of question. I hope. Please go ahead, take your time.
So also, in a city like Hyderabad, where people are much more fascinated with, biryani or halim, what was your motto, to start this vegan cafe?
If I have gone it thinking that way, yes, it would have been difficult, but I didn't do a market research, or I just did what I believed in doing. And you have an audience for everything. People sell rubbish and they got an audience. We're at least doing good food. We'll get an audience eventually. Yes, true, 80% I think. It's a predominantly meat-eating culture, no doubt about it. But then, see, I'm just a one restaurant. All I need is like a tiny fraction of the population. That's it, right? I don't have to take over the entire city. So we're doing good, we're fine, we're happy, we get all the love. It's not that all kinds of people come here for just good food. It's not about are we serving vegan, vegetarian, meat, that's our business. When we make food, we want to make good food, period. If that's what we're doing inside the kitchen. Are we using cashew instead of ghee and all that? That's our business. The customer should get good food, and that's why we cut across. We cut across, demographic in terms of even age groups. Being a cafe, it's not that only 20 years old hanging out over a cup of coffee. We get 60 years old having a full meal, all sorts of things. So I think the bottom line is you serve good food. Do it with passion, because food has to be with passion when you mix. We are also doing business, but if you do only business, then that spoils it.
So how was the response from the Hyderabadis when you started this cafe?
When we started 6 years ago, it was very, very extremely small. I had zero training. I'm not a chef. I've not done hotel management. I've not done nothing. I started engineering. I was working in a startup. Then I started teaching. I was just experimenting. But I've always been cooking. I've always been cooking for myself, for my sisters, my family, my friends, just for fun. So I enjoyed, I like doing it. And I think when you like what you do, most of the things just happen eventually anyway, right? So the response was very good. And considering that we were the first vegan joint, a lot of vegans were excited, and predominantly we only had that crowd. Later, it was about good food. The vegetarian vegans started bringing other people. So just have good food, forget about it. So the traction was there. That's how it is.
Yeah, now also when we browse in the Google, Terrassencafe, Hyderabad's first 100% vegan cafe. That's how it pops up.
No, that Google pops us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a journey, 6 years, slow, steady. Yeah.
So you're basically from Hyderabad, or you?
I am from a lot of places, but the closest answer is my hometown is in Ajmer. That's where I did my schooling. But my father was not born in this country. I was not born in this country. Then I studied in Delhi, worked in Kolkata, been in Mumbai. So, But yeah, hometown, because I did most of my years in Rajasthan, so I connect with it. I can, as much I can say I'm a Hyderabadi, I can say I'm a Rajasthani also. That's how it is. Please go ahead, it's your food. I keep eating it.
No, you also please.
I'll serve it. That's cashew cheese. If you want to spice it up, that's a red sauce. But just have it as is. It's just basic bread, pizza, and a little bit of cheese. That's how authentic pizza is.
Okay.
It's not the Domino's where you overload and cheese busted. So, but feel free to.
You come from Ajmer, you relate more to Ajmer. So, any of the cuisines that are there in from
Dal bati
Rajasthan?
churma is there. It's a biryani of Rajasthan. Dal bati churma, everybody eats it. So if it's an occasion, you bring in that. We had poha, the Rajasthani style, not the Nagpuri and all that. They're also good, but we do it that way. I don't do kachori and all that because they're extremely deep fried. It's grilled food. So when I go home, I have once in a while, but I don't introduce it as.
exceptions for your customers.
Sometimes, if possible, yes, but
It actually tastes amazing.
thank you.
So, is it all brainstormed by you, the recipe, the 4 items, the menu? Or is it like, collectively you work in a team?
Predominantly, 95% the ideas are mine, but how the ideas are mine is that we constantly interact with the customers. I go out, my team goes out, we all do it. How do we finally execute it is obviously my decision. Okay, but it's either pure nostalgia, as you asked a good question, what from Rajasthan, if I call myself Rajasthani, so dal bati churma becomes the obvious thing. But there are few things like when you grow up eating, your parents make for you, it's your thing. When you interpret it, bring it, so it's either nostalgia or experience when you go out eating or you talk to people. This, we had this. It would be nice if you introduce. I go Google it, YouTube it. Like Kushari, one of my customers went to Egypt, Cairo, and they told me about it. Instantly got intrigued. Well, what is this? And we said we should do it, and it works very well. And I think I don't know yet. It may be my ignorance, but other than that, I can claim that we are the only place serving in Hyderabad.
So, after you started this cafe, there were many more vegan cafes that are coming up in Hyderabad.
They're coming, yes.
Yeah.
It's a good sign. I like it. It's sign of a maturing market, and also the fact that non-vegan restaurants also are bringing in vegan menu or veganizing. If you ask, can you help us not put dairy and milk? They understand. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, it was like, they don't even understand what we're talking about. But now it's interesting that, hotel chef, even at a lower level, a waiter, they understand. Just say no dairy, just like, is it vegan? Do you mean vegan? That's interesting. That's happening slowly.
You're happy to see that change.
Happy to see that. Why not?
Was it only you that, you actually thought process or whatever we call it, or was it somebody your inspiration or you admired somebody that you need to change at this moment of time, or you need to start this startup?
Thankfully, it has its own pros and cons, but the pro is that since I didn't look, first of all, there was no vegan restaurant in entire India, barring Bangalore, one in Goa, and we were like 6-8 months apart. So the pro was that we became original because by nature we did things differently because there was nothing to copy, it's like imitation is a purest form of flattery, I guess, but we had nothing to imitate. So we developed a pretty original style of working, and people, thankfully, Hyderabadis have been very welcoming. I always say that, and so they like the whole core built around it. The cons are definitely we made a few mistakes because we didn't have any of them to look about. So pros and cons. Originality came at a cost of high trial and errors. That's what I'm going to say.
One message to all the meat eaters that you want to convey from this platform?
Nothing. I don't have any message. We do our work. Our angle is not health or anything. I really don't care. I like to serve healthy food, but that's not, I believe, is the core message of a vegan, whatever you want to call it, lifestyle or ethics, or it's about social justice for animals. Poultry is also cruel. It's not just like because chickens are dying right in front of me, so milk is off the hook. It's part of a abusive industry. And if you can have good food without doing that, and it's also not okay, and I want to exclude all hypothetical, what if I'm stranded on an island, what if I'm in Alaska, because that's ridiculous. That doesn't work. What if a fisherman in some remote, my message is purely to urban people with means. Everything is accessible, everything is within budget. It's not, people make it as expensive just because they need cashew, but if meat and ghee, whenever you introduce an industry, the price goes up. So obviously it's not cheap. So the thing is that if you can make good, healthy food, then why not? Why go that route and be part of this extremely abusive industry? And for what? Just because we can do it, that's why we should do it, then that's not how the world works, right?
So have you come across any of the customers, who actually themselves into vegan after coming to this cafe?
Yes,
Or
yes.
got inspired from
I
you?
got inspired, and when I eat the biryani or the pizza and all that, it's like, okay, or the raita, for example, like vegetarians are hooked up on curd. When we make good curd, they're like, oh, now we are sure that we can. So that's why we do a few things like, okay, you can make good coffee, you can make good raita, and you can. So I don't know, few of them they have turned vegan, and few of them's resolve has gotten stronger, and that's what our part of is. We are just, our focus is creating good food, and we are sticking to our vegan universe of thought. That's about it. I'm not on a, although people look at it that way, but I'm not a missionary about it, preachy about it, or I have an agenda over there. I have an idea, I believe in something, and that's how it's showing. You like it, go ahead. If you don't like it, leave it. That's about it. As simple as that.
Apart from amazing ambience and food, there are various cultural events happening over here, right? So can you just give an insight about it?
So our business is to provide good food and create an ambience. The way we have created an ambience have always attracted the cultural artistic crowd of Hyderabad, be it film, painting, writers, whatever. So I don't actively go out and do events. It always comes from the community itself. So dancers say like, we want to do a performance, or a singer says we want to try it out, and this is a place where you look like kind of even the crowd comes there, we can appreciate it. So it always comes from there if they want to try something new, and generally the place itself is such that we certainly get both the artists and the audience are kind of certain kind of crowd which have an artistic bent and all that. So that's always have been community driven. I like doing it. I like the fact that it adds a life and character to the place, but I let the Hyderabad take care of that. We just provide the space. So we have everything. We have travel bloggers talking about sustainable travel. We have singers. We have Telugu bands. We have jazz bands. You name it. We have some talks, really different kind of talks. People just giving talks on, be it economics, being on sexual expression, you name it. So that's always been community driven.
Okay. So it happens oftenly, or it's like a weekend event?
We did created a momentum where every Thursday was booked. Every week we used to do. Post pandemic, it's been 1.5 years. We have not done yet. But since we have moved to a new place and it's open and it's bigger, again already an event happened, and again the push from the artists is coming again. First the space permits, and second it's been way too long. People are wanting to come, express. It will happen again, and we are looking at all kinds of events which happens. Yeah.
Me being into animal rescues and me being a hardcore animal lover, every time all I have faced is restrictions from the cafe not being pet friendly. Your Terrassen Cafe is pet friendly. So this thought was from the beginning or gradually?
It's very obvious. Actually, it was not a thought or something. People who have dogs or cats or whatever, they are a part of the family, right? We have no restrictions on children not coming, old people not coming, this not coming. Family comes, so they are part of the family. So it's for how we see it, it's very obvious, right? And we are very comfortable, and that's always been the space. Again, it's outdoors also now, but when we had the indoor space also, the dogs coming, cats coming all the time. So yeah, it just sounds obvious to us. It comes across that we thought of something, but what we didn't do is didn't think of not allowing animals.
So my last question to you is, whenever it comes to business, or let that be restaurant or cafe, it's always a money-minded kind of that people usually has. But when it comes to you, your motto or your aim is that to serve fresh, wholesome, chemical-free, and plant-based, healthy food to your customers. So is it right?
See, I'm into business, food business, one of the toughest business. I do want to make money. But we want to do it our way. We don't have to personally have a split personality, what we believe and what we do. So, and I think the biggest challenge is that I see it as if you can monetize your passions, your beliefs, you can sustain it and make it economical. I think it sends across a bigger message. Otherwise, it becomes esoteric. Okay. So artists are always considered esoteric. They don't have touch with reality. But I want to make sense. Okay, you believe what you believe and keep doing it and make a living out of it. That sends a powerful message, and that has always been our thing. I want to show that you can make money while doing what you believe in, both ethically or artistically. So that's also one of the things. So be it. It may be tough, not easy, maybe slightly lesser margins, maybe tougher days, but it's worth it. That's what we. We're trying to make an authentic pizza, vegan or non-vegan regardless. That's one of the part of our food. So our original, actually even Italy is divided into regions, just like Andhra Pulusu is different from Telangana and all that. Even pizzas are but broadly it is about good bread, nice sauce and a little bit of cheese. That's what they eat. The fast food version is cheese, reverse. That's what we don't do. We could have done it, but we wanted to stick to the authentic. So also we wanted to skip the maida part. We use a sprouted wheat flour base, marinara sauce, toppings as required, and some cashew cheese on the top. So everything balances our pizza. That's how pizza is well loved, even by Europeans, because when the pre-pandemic and all that, we used to get a lot of foreign crowd. Italian approved. So when they say it's nice, it's nice. So then after that, I don't care what people say. So that's how the pizza is. Biryani again. Problem with veg biryani is the most made fun of. They said it cannot be a veg biryani. It's for pulao and all that. True, because the restaurants mess it up. They make it a pulao out of it. They use carrot, beans and all that. Biryani is about rice, gravy, layer. You can do it vegetables also. People don't do it, doesn't mean it cannot be made. That's why biryani is quite popular with meat eaters also. It's a good biryani. Rice, layers, some vegetables, depending on what you are ordering. Are you ordering a keema biryani or a vegetable biryani? It's a layer of vegetables or soya keema. Double layers. Each and every, it's made in this. We don't serve in a make in a big handi and serve it. Each and every biryani is made in a handi specifically. And that goes into the oven. That's why there's a bread, that's how we seal it. Authentic again. Yeah. So all the myths about, there can't be a vegetarian biryani, it's vegetable pulao. True, because restaurants mess it up, but technically false. That's where we try to. Personally, I won't serve raita because biryani is a one-pot meal. That's how it is supposed to be. No salan, no raita, but demand. That's why we make raita. But we have also another agenda over there. We make good cashew raita. So the whole myth about curd and all is broken. That's why we serve it with some cashew raita. We make yogurt out of it. Just like people make Shrikhand but non-sweet. We get a nice thick creamy and add water, masalas and all that. That's how
like whenever we hear about the vegan curd, we generally hear about the peanut.
Peanut because it's cheap. Good. Also nice because Telangana is very local. I promote it, support it. The only thing is that raita and all is fine, but you can't make smoothies out of it because the peanut taste overpowers. Because we trying to save processes and time, we use it in sweet desserts and everything. That's why I make cashew. Cashew has a neutral taste, so it doesn't overpower. So in savory dishes, peanut works very well. But you will get a hint of peanut, but we don't want to do it. It's a culinary choice. I support peanut because it's more local, cheaper, and it's grown here. That's why. That's why you hear more. And even for commercial, if people are making large quantities, peanut makes more sense. That's why you hear more about peanut curd.
Now coming to
chole kulche, Delhi style, kale chane. People think chole in Hyderabad, they think Kabuli chana, and they think okay, we have ripped them off because we are serving black. Number one, they're equally expensive. Number two, that's how it's served in Delhi. That's why we do it. Black chana, high protein, and instead of maida kulcha, we make our own kulcha like a pita bread, soft but more healthy, and more like a kind of a bandi style over there. Minimalist. That's what we do. We don't add a lot of cream and all. That's a different chole bhature chole. This is a chole kulche, very minimalist. That's all.
And what about the kulche, you know?
Sprouted wheat flour, fermented, then rested, and then made it on the tawa.
As we are a channel, you know, where we promote vegetarianism or
Yeah.
plant-based diet,
Right.
and we urge people, you know, to stop this animal cruelty and give it a thought to change themselves into a plant-based diet. So that is why we are here today in conversation.
Thank you so
with
much for promoting and really appreciate that. And can be done. I know that people, vegetarians quote scriptures, but then world changes. A lot of things we don't follow. No disrespect to the scriptures, but
Yes.
we are also changing. The society is changing, so we can adapt.
It was really nice talking to you, Dhanesh. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time to us.
It was lovely
and
having
sorry for troubling you again and
Not at
again
all.
coming down over
I'm
here.
grateful to you for giving me, taking out such time to, and the effort shows. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Dhanesh. So friends, today we were in conversation with Dhanesh Sharma, the owner of Terrassen Cafe. I will see you in the next episode of Unplugged with Master. Stay tuned to PMC English for more updates.